Welcome. This painting, created in 1959, is by Malaysian artist Chia Yu Chian. It is an untitled work and depicts the life of a village community, showing a time and place when things were more simpler. People who lived in village communities lived in homes that were made of wood, with attic roofs that were created from palm leaves. In villages, people often gathered outside of their homes, and they would gather to sing, to play, to eat, to tell stories to one another. If you look at this painting carefully, you will see right at the center a boy, and he seems to be holding his head. Now you might think, what is he doing? Well, I think he is holding his head, trying to recall a story he heard the night before. Especially, he remembers this line saying, slow and steady, slow and steady. But while he still recalls the story, I will share it with you because I heard that very same story at the village gathering. Long, long ago, deep in the forest, the rains they did not come for a whole year. So all the plants and the trees, they did not grow fruit. And the animals, they became very, very hungry. There were 4 friends who remembered of a time long ago where there was a tree, a special tree, a magical tree, where if you stood under the tree and called out its name, it would produce magical fruit. They told all of the animals about this, and they said to them, "Come, we'll take you to that magical tree." And when all the animals gathered under that tree, the 4 friends did not remember the name of that magical tree. What will we do now? They said. "Don't worry," said Lion. "We will simply go to the sacred mountain and ask the mountain spirit. Surely he will tell us the name of that magical tree." I'll go, said Monkey. "I am the fastest." And off he ran up that mountain as fast as his legs would carry him. And once he reached the top, he called out, "Sacred mountain, speak to me. Tell me the name of the magical tree." And a great voice called out, "Awongalima." "Oh, of course," said Monkey. And off he ran as fast as his legs would carry him down that mountain. He ran and ran and ran, and he did not look where he was going, and he crashed into an anthill, and the name fell right out of his head. Now, when he reached that magical tree and he stood under it, he thought, Gawanga wanga? Nothing happened. And all the animals around, they were really sad. "I'll go," said Buffalo. "I am the strongest." And off went Buffalo as fast as he could run up that mountain. And when he reached the top, he called out, "Sacred mountain, speak to me. Tell me the name of that magical tree." And you, my friends, would have known the name by now. Please repeat with me. "Awongalima." Yes, "Awongalima," said the great voice. "Why, of course," said Buffalo. And off he ran down that mountain as fast as he could. And he did not look where he was going, and he hit his head on a low branch of a tree, and the name fell right out of his head. Now, when he came to that magical tree and he stood under it, he thought really hard. Gamale. Nothing happened, and all the animals, they looked so disappointed. I'll go, said Lion. I am the smartest anyway. And off went Lion up that mountain as fast as he could. And once he reached the top, he called out, "Sacred mountain, speak to me. Tell me the name of the magical tree." And the great voice called out, "Yes, please repeat with me, Awangalima." Why, of course it is Awangalima. And Lion ran down that mountain as fast as he could. And he ran and he ran and he ran and he tripped on a tree root. And the name fell right out of his head. When he reached that magic tree and he stood under it, he opened his mouth and he went, Awanga Male? Nothing happened. And of course, all the animals were very angry, so angry. Now, amongst all the 4 friends, there was one still left. And he was, of course, Tortoise. Now, Tortoise said, "I will go." All the friends started laughing, and the other animals too, because he was so slow. But they had to let him try, since all of them failed. So off went Tortoise up that mountain, slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady, till he reached the very top. And there he called out, "Sacred mountain, speak to me. Tell me the name of the magic tree." And a great voice called out, "Awangalima." Why, thank you, mountain spirit, thank you. And Tortoise was now ready to go down the hill, rather the mountain. And as he went down the mountain, he remembered something his mother had taught him when he was just a young child. His mother said, "If you want to remember something, you must repeat over and over, again and again." So this is what he did. A magic word for a magic tree. Awangalima, Awangalima. A magic word for a magic tree. Awangalima, Awangalima. Please repeat with me. A magic word for a magic tree. Awangalima, Awangalima. Tortoise walked slowly around the anthill, chanting a magic word for a magic tree. Awangalima, Awangalima. He walked slowly under that tree branch and he said, "A magic word for a magic tree. Awangalima, Awangalima." And he carefully walked over that tree root and he said, "A magic word for a magic tree. Awangalima, Awangalima." And he finally arrived at that magic tree. And then he called out the magic name. Please say it with me. Awangalima! And the whole tree burst forth with so many wonderful, magical fruit. And all the animals had their fill, and there was so much fruit, they could have that food for the entire season. And no one ever forgot the name of that magical tree ever again. A magic word for a magic tree. Awangalima, Awangalima.